Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Sunday and welcome back to another round of in-depth candle reviews. I hope your weekend is going fabulously. I actually hope to have 4 separate candle reviews ready to go for you guys today. Now we'll see how far I get into filming here. It could only end up being 3, but big goals, right? So this morning when I was looking at my calendar for some work-related stuff, I realized that, oh, holy moly, we are already more than halfway through July at this point. And I am someone who is personally a very seasonal burner. And so usually around mid-August, I transition over to fall fragrances exclusively. That probably sounds a little bit insane because you're probably thinking in your head, hey, fall does not happen in August. That comes around in September. But once I decorate my house for fall, like that's like the hard switch for me. I tend to decorate a little bit early because I do film a Decorate With Me series for my channel that goes up in every September. And it takes me a little while to edit those videos. So I end up changing the fall decor over in sort of mid-August. And yeah, I don't feel like burning summer fragrances after I bust out all the pumpkins. So I really only have a few weeks of summer burning left in me at this point. So I need to start cranking out these reviews a little bit faster than I have been. So prepare yourself. Please do let me know, are you actually still in the mood for summer candle reviews? I feel like a lot of us have kind of moved on at this point, but yeah, let me know what your feelings about it in the comments down below. Anyway, hopefully I can get 4 ready today. We'll see. In this first video, we are going to tackle HomeWorx Espresso Martini. And in full disclosure, this particular candle was sent to me in PR by HomeWorx. That means that I did not pay for it. I am a HomeWorx ambassador, and every once in a while they will send us a candle or two where we are, you know, allowed to burn and share our thoughts with you. All opinions obviously are my own on these. So anyway, let's dive into this Espresso Martini. So this is, I believe, the second time that this fragrance has been released. Don't quote me on that. I think it was released one other time, maybe around the holidays last year. Again, don't quote me. But I was kind of curious about it the first go around, but just thought, you know, well, whatever. You know, maybe there's another HomeWorx candle that I'd rather have instead. But when they sent this one and I stuck my nose into it, I was like, ooh, man, I should have tried this way back when, because I kind of love this scent. So I will say I am very happy to report that I don't pick up the boozy notes in this one at all. I am someone who really does not necessarily enjoy that in terms of home fragrance. I know Harry sometimes tends to be a little bit big on these boozy notes. They're not my personal favorite. And luckily with a number of these types of fragrances from HomeWorx, I typically don't end up smelling that note, but sometimes I do. And when I do, they are certainly quite potent. But here I feel like I'm getting more of an espresso type fragrance. So I actually really enjoy this one. So we are going to go through this in my usual review style. Please know that I have definitely burned this past the halfway point. You guys will get an overhead shot towards the end of the video. I have burned this now multiple times. I have found it to be quite consistent. So if you're at all interested in this fragrance, I can definitely give it 2 thumbs up. But let's go ahead and read through the scent story. We'll talk about the fragrance notes, and then we'll talk strength and throw and, you know, address the overall burn quality here. Okay. Cheers to the season with a delicious and robust combination of freshly brewed espresso that is shaken with coffee liqueur and dark rum, all poured into a chilled martini glass that is topped with whipped vanilla froth. So basically the picture that you're seeing here is what we're supposed to be smelling. So the top notes are freshly brewed espresso, cocoa bean, and coffee liqueur. The mid notes are coconut creme, whipped froth, and mini marshmallows. The bottom notes are rich vanilla, sugar crystals, and rum. So you can see that those boozy notes are definitely mentioned a few times. So we have the the coffee liqueur, the rum, and let's see here. Sorry, I'm looking at the fragrance notes that are listed at the very top, and there is also a cafe au lait liqueur listed up there as well. But happy to report that none of those booze notes are present to me at all. What I smell here is a really lovely, dark, rich espresso. So a lovely coffee note, definitely very intense. I do get just a touch of cocoa from this as well. Basically almost like a dark cocoa powder. Coffee liqueur, I mean, again, not really. This just doesn't come across as boozy to my nose at all. The coconut creme, I do not detect at all, but I do smell that kind of creamy frothiness for sure. It almost smells like there is a whipped vanilla aspect to this fragrance. So I think that whipped froth and the rich vanilla to my nose are just coming across as a combination, I guess you could say. Almost like you took heavy whipping cream and incorporated a healthy dose of vanilla in there, and then topped that, you know, on your little espresso martini here. Sugar crystals, is this a sweeter coffee scent? I would say, yeah, there's definitely a little bit of sweetness here, but it's not overly sweet, that's for sure. Once again, rum is not present to my nose, and I don't smell that marshmallow note either. So mostly what I'm getting from this personally is almost like a espresso latte kind of combination, I guess you could say. I think the vanilla, like that whipped vanilla cream type note that I mentioned, is giving me like the latte type vibes. But the espresso is definitely, you know, quite potent in here. So there's a good healthy dose of coffee, but that creamy note that I mentioned kind of helps to tone that down a little bit so that it doesn't smell super acidic, I guess you could say. Listen, this is a great coffee scent. I have actually been burning this in the morning while I've been making my coffee. It is a great fall morning fragrance, and if you are in the market for some coffee candles for the upcoming fall season, I would encourage you to maybe consider this one because I do think it's really quite well done. If you are looking for those boozy notes, I mean, every nose is obviously going to be a little bit different. Maybe your nose will pick them up, but I'm not getting the booze at all. And I tend to be pretty sensitive to it, I feel like. Strength and throw. So this is falling right in line with that solid medium HomeWorx performance that has kind of been the norm now for several years for me. I would say most of my HomeWorx candles are somewhere in the range of like 6 to 7, 7.5 in terms of strength and throw. I will say my older HomeWorx candles that have been sitting that I take out to, you know, burn maybe 2 or 3 years after originally purchasing them, those definitely are a lot more potent at this point. But these newer ones that, you know, are just sent to me, these are performing at a nice solid medium strength and throw. So this one here, if I were to put an exact number on it, I would say about a 7 in terms of strength. But I will say I'm surprised this one doesn't travel a lot further. I would only give this a throw of about 5.5, 6. I'm surprised it doesn't travel further than it does. I've usually had it on my kitchen counter in my Chester Hurricane. I have also burned it in my dining room a couple times as well. It definitely does not escape the dining room, but it's pretty rare for a fragrance to do that. That is one of the most, I guess you could say, enclosed rooms in our house, in the downstairs at least. Everything else is quite open concept. But yeah, I do wish that it did travel a little bit further, but the overall strength in the area where I am burning it is fine. Like it's great. I'm usually burning 2 candles at a time. I have burned this alongside some gourmand blueberry fragrances, and that has actually been a great combination. So if you have any of those on hand, maybe like a blueberry pie type scent, that actually pairs really well with this espresso martini. So in terms of the overall burn quality, let me give you guys the overhead shots so that you can see where I'm at. Obviously, I just lit this prior to starting to film, but I want to give you a sense of how this wax is performing, and the wicks as well. I trim the wicks ever so slightly. They're thin, but they're not too thin. The wax is not discolored, as you can see. There is no sooting, no overall burn issues. It's got a nice clean burn to it. I am pleased with it overall. I don't know, I don't have any complaints here other than I wish that this would just travel a little bit further, I guess. That being said, I will absolutely put this on the list to repurchase at some point in the future. It's a lovely scent, and I like it. I'm glad it doesn't smell boozy to my nose. So anyway, let me know if you have any questions about this one. If you happen to have espresso martini on hand, share your experience in the comments down below. Subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.